Let's hear from Wolves manager Gary O'Neill, speaking after today's 4-2 home defeat against Bournemouth.
Really disappointing, because lots of errors around stuff that we'd prepared for. No surprises in what Bournemouth did or how they went about it, and failed to cope with some situations that we should have done a lot better with. So, and from there becomes a real difficult one for us to come back into.
3 penalties, which is extraordinary in a Premier League game. Any problems with any of them from your point of view?
Oh no, they looked like penalties live. I haven't watched them back. We had bigger problems today than worrying about the officials. There was a lot that we needed to look at ourselves. So no issues.
Was the frustration that, particularly whilst it was 1-3, and then again when it was 2-4, the game seemed to go flat? There wasn't that spark that you've had in previous weeks.
It's very hard to keep finding the spark when you keep constantly shooting yourself in the foot. So the lads kept fighting. They kept fighting. But when we got back to 1-1. We found a way to give one away. When we got back to 3-2 and you feel like the momentum's going to be with us, we give away a crazy penalty. So, 3 of the goals really avoidable. So really disappointing.
Yeah, it's Gary O'Neill speaking to talkSPORT's Dave Rowe there. Let's go to Mike. He's a Bournemouth fan. All right, Mike?
Mikey?
How you doing? All right, yeah, good.
Hi, Mikey.
I'm hoping that today's result finally puts to bed this boring debate about Gary O'Neill, why we sacked him. Today just shows that Ireola is a far superior coach, entertaining, free-flowing football, and just a pleasure to watch.
You know what? I did watch what was, we're lucky we get to watch all the games. They were moving the ball around really well today, Bournemouth. Moved it well, and, they looked like they got a right good cohesion, amongst the players. I think it was the second goal was a top draw goal. But, yeah, he's doing a really good job. What's the ambition, though? Where can you take this club?
He's getting us to Europe, without a doubt. I'll tell you, that man has taken us to Europe. We've got Bill Foley, a really good owner. Invest in the club, invest in the background. We've got a new training ground coming after Christmas, and hopefully
Are you going to finish above? Are you going to finish above, Mike? Because I understand, and I get the excitement, and I love to hear it from fans like, for teams that haven't had a huge... I mean, have you ever been in Europe, Bournemouth?
Well, only on a pre-season tour to the Isle of Wight.
Right, but who are you going to finish above? Who's the team that you can say, I'm going to finish above them? It's your 11th as we speak, right? You got Newcastle, Villa, Spurs in front of you. You got to finish in front of 2 of those, or Brentford and Forest.
Definitely above Newcastle. I think definitely above Forest. Definitely above Brentford.
All right, okay. Well, then European paces, well done. Excellent work.
I mean, look. That's the aim. I get it. I understand the ambition, but Cundy makes a valid point. You got teams above you who are bigger and better.
Yeah, they may be bigger, but they're not better. Everyone's got. Are they better because they got history? You tell me.
After 13 games, they're better than you because they're above you.
Well, we'll see at the end of the season.
That's what it's all about.
It's fair.
But I do sense, Mikey, there's a little bit of that, because when Gary O'Neill got the sack, right, and Gary's gone on and done, I think, superbly well. He's a young manager. I think he'll do very well. Is there a little bit of a angst between what happened with Ireola and Gary with the fans? Because you I don't know why you're having a pop at Gary O'Neill.
I'll tell you what, it's more the media. When the reception Ireola got from the media when he landed in Bournemouth was toxic. All on social media, all the so-called experts. Bournemouth, you've got rid of O'Neill. He's done a great job, and look, he kept us up. That was the brief. But the football was awful. It was terrible to watch. Last season was brilliant under Ireola, and it's only getting better and better.
By the way, after about 6 or 7 games in, you Bournemouth fans weren't too impressed either. I think you can have a pop up social media, but I remember he was struggling when he first turned up. There's a few Bournemouth fans questioning.
Yeah, wanted him out.
There was.
There was, but it was a complete change of style of football. We went from sitting back, moving the ball around slowly, to this a high press, high intensity. Pass the move.
You do. You look good. I'll give you credit today. The second goal, was a superb team effort.
Yeah, it was a great goal.
Beautiful goal.
Do you think that because of the fact that Gary O'Neill was the manager of Bournemouth, and now obviously they've seen that result today, the Wolves hierarchy might look at it and say, do we start looking at something else? Is there another option out there?
I don't think so, mate, yet, because there's 3 penalties in there. 3 pens. Look, Bournemouth are the better side. I'm not taking anything away. But when you look at, you mentioned there, Gary, in this thing, avoidable goals, right? The first one, Totti going to ground, Evan Nelson getting 4
minutes,
right? Then you fast forward, 10 minutes. Jose Sarr, like trying to do criffs in his box. Catches Evan Nelson, another penalty. Then all of a sudden you fast forward second half when Wolves got back into the game. That was the killer goal, the third pay. Comes out, he scythes him down. I mean, better decisions in the box, and you might see a different performance, but no, Wolves deserved it, mate.
Okay, all right. Mike, thanks for your call. Let's go to Katie, who's an Ipswich fan. All right, Kate?
Right, Casey.
Hi, are you right?
Yeah, good. What did you make of Ipswich today? You took a bit of stick on here, actually, from Nottingham Forest fans.
Yeah, that's what I called. I think it's a bit unfair. On one hand, I mean, obviously you do get teams time wasting, and I wouldn't say, to be honest, that we particularly did today.
No.
I think there's a time and a place for it. Sometimes you've got to do it to get through a game. Like you said, Forest have been known for doing it when they need to. If we had been doing it, I'd hold my hands up, but I generally don't think we did. And
yeah, look, hey, here's the thing. I'm watching Ipswich, and I'm saying to Jason, we're watching a game. Good team, Ipswich. Play some decent football. He makes a good point. Yeah, but he don't win, and that's the problem you're finding. Are you going to turn into like the Luton of the Premier League, where you play well, and you look good, and you're fighting it out, you come away with nothing?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I keep saying to myself that luck's going to turn, and last season we were accused of having a lot of luck, and sometimes it was right, but I think on one hand you make your own luck, but it just doesn't seem to be coming for us. After our last two games I had a really positive feeling about today, but I'm not too sure now.
Yes, it's home form. That's where if you're going to stay up, I mean, that's why I go back to Luton last year. Some of the games they played, mate, they were good against Chelsea, good against City, Liga, Arsenal, Liverpool scored, I think, a late equal as well. Arsenal, one of them did. And they played well in all of those games against the big dogs, right? I think they come away 1 point. Yeah. Right? They can't play well and not. You need to take something when you play
you
well.
look at the bottom of the table, though, you got, Everton, Leicester, Crystal Palace, and then Wolves, Ipswich, and Southampton. I look at it and go, Everton always seem to be all right because of Sean Dyche and final, but they are not great this season. Leicester have just got a new manager, so do they get a new manager bound? Do they pick up with Ruud van Nistelrooy? Crystal Palace, man, it's the 93rd minute. They were second bottom, they were.
Massive goal,
so it's a massive goal for them. They've been poor this season. So, look, you're not cut adrift, Ipswich Town.
No.
So they can still fight it, but you're right.
I'm not,
home wins, they need some big home wins.
All I'm saying is that when you play well at home and you don't win in the Premier League, like Luton did from a lot of last season, going away from home's tough at any level, right? Any player, with any team. Saw Liverpool last week go away to Southampton and struggle. They got Palace at home next, then they got Bournemouth at home, right? Wolves, they got games there you think half winnable, not half.
Yeah.
But at home, if they can't take 4 points from Palace and Bournemouth, you probably start to really fear for them, yeah.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.